Have you ever walked into a room, a party, or an event, and there's that one guy, the one guy who seems to have everybody gravitating towards him, bouncing between conversations, and it seems like he already knows everyone. And you find yourself wondering, how did he do that? I'm gonna share a little secret with you. This guy is not special. He's not a mind reader. He doesn't have some sort of special advantage. He just knows how to move through a social space in a way that makes people want to engage with him. And today, I'm going to show you how to do that too. How to walk into a room, command attention right away, and become the guy that everybody wants to talk to. All right, let's get into it. Hi, I'm Olivia Chevalier. I'm a love and confidence coach, and I specialize in helping ambitious men to level up their social skills, communication, dating life, and confidence. My goal is to give you the tools that will help you to master your love life, social life, and your professional life, so you can step into the most confident, fulfilled, and connected version of yourself that you were always supposed to be. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, then do be sure to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up so we can share this content with other men just like you who are looking to learn and grow in this area. So without further ado, let's get back into the video. This is a topic that I'm super passionate about because when I started my journey with confidence and building social skills and learning how to be authentic and connect with people the way that I really wanted to deep down, I was super socially anxious. Like I couldn't even walk into a room full of people that I didn't know without getting my phone out, scuttling into the corner and feeling super anxious the whole time that they might be watching me and judging me, that I might look stupid, or that if I tried to talk to someone, they might reject me. So I get it. I get why this can be quite a scary thing to try. But after almost 13 years since the time that I began this journey, I love working a room. And it's such a beautiful way to feel like you've really become a part of the space. And normally after these evenings or whatever event you're going to, when you're working that room, you normally come away with that with a few people who are real potential, meaningful connections that you can connect with further and explore more deeply outside of that setting. But it also just gives you such a huge confidence boost to show yourself that you can enter a space and you can create the energy in that space. That you can be someone that is a determining factor of how fun that space becomes for everybody involved. When you can really tap into that energy, there's something that changes inside of you because you start to see just how capable you are. And the first time I ever worked a room, when I was 18 years old, that was a pivotal moment for me when I actually overcame that anxiety and the fear of being judged and seen and noticed. And I allowed myself to be seen from a place of relaxation and confidence. And I made some incredible friends that I'm still friends with to this day. So you don't have to get it perfect the first time. It's a matter of practicing and going back to different places, trying different ways of coming in, learning to get a bit more relaxed in your body language and maybe using some breathing techniques to relax yourself before going in. But I promise you that if you can make the effort to start learning how to work a room, you're really going to be activating your social butterfly energy in a way that you might not even think is possible. Okay, I'm going to be giving you guys a 5-step process that's going to help you to work the room like you know everybody already. So the first step to working the room like a master is setting the tone before you even walk in. You see, a lot of people think that working the room begins when you start talking to people, but the reality is it's something that begins before that. The way you enter the space, now that is what's going to set the tone for how the entire room will see you. Just take a moment to picture how the average person walks into a room of people that they don't know. They enter the room, look around, scan for familiar faces, and very quickly scuttle off to the bar or a corner to a place that feels safe. And most likely they're probably pulling their phone out to avoid looking awkward. But the guys who own the room, they move differently. They walk in like they belong there. No hesitation, no scanning for approval, no worrying about what it looks like for them to be walking into that room and to have eyes on them from multiple people who are just noticing that they're entering. They just simply have a relaxed, confident movement. They're not in a rush. They're not getting their phone out. They're being present with what is happening in the room. Before they really enter the room, they take a second to just absorb what is going on around them. They're not doing this in a standing awkwardly, waiting for something to happen kind of way, but instead they're doing this in a way that says, I'm in no rush, I'm comfortable here. And something else you might notice is that very often these guys who own the room when they walk in, they already have a bit of a half smile on their face when they come in. Now, this might sound like a small, insignificant detail, but this very slight smile on your face when you enter the room makes you seem instantly more approachable to everyone in the room. People naturally are going to mirror the energy that you're giving off. So if you walk into the room feeling tense and awkward and fidgety and looking like you just don't believe you belong there, people are going to respond to you in that same way. We are very highly intuitive beings and we can sense what's going on inside somebody as soon as they walk into the room. So it's really important that you're coming to it with a relaxed posture, feeling at ease, and not allowing yourself to get into the state of being fidgety and panicking and worrying what people are thinking. Instead, smile, take a pause, take it all in, and move with confidence and intention as you walk through the room and find the spot that you want to sit at. The important thing to understand here is that you are showing up to the space with an energy and a body language that communicates that you are open to connecting. In fact, you're inviting that connection with your body language and your presence. Step 2, start small. Allow yourself to ease into the social flow. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're trying to work a room is that they go for the hardest conversation first. If you just walked into the space and you are immediately trying to approach the most attractive person in the room and strike up an interesting conversation right away, that's kind of like stepping into a boxing ring without warming up first. You're guaranteed that you're probably going to pull something or get punched. I'm just kidding. You probably won't get punched, but you probably won't feel your most confident self, and you might catch yourself overthinking and getting really awkward and not really stepping into the magnetism that you're trying to create in this interaction. So my advice instead is just to ease into it, relax, take a deep breath. You want to start with the lowest stakes interactions possible. So as you're walking into the room, take a moment, absorb everything, look around, find the spot that you want to go to. Maybe you want to go to the bar, move with confidence, a nice pace that's not rushing. Head over to the bar, head over to your seat. And as you're walking through, anybody that you make eye contact with, just give them a smile. Maybe say hello if it feels like the right moment to do so. But make these little moments of small contact where you are acknowledging the people that you are making eye contact with as you move to the spot that you have chosen to go to. This part is all about initiating low stake, low effort interactions that communicate approachability and friendliness. So you could even start with the bouncer. When he's checking your ID, you can just have a small bit of banter with him, have a small conversation, ask him how his night's going, whatever comes to your mind. It really doesn't matter too much. This is low stakes and it's not meant to be much effort or thinking going into it. Other ideas for low stakes interactions would be someone like the bartender or a stranger who might be sitting at the area where you're going to or standing next to you at the bar when you arrive. And you just want to have these simple, quick, casual exchanges. Nothing crazy, nothing serious. Just communicating your friendliness and your openness to connect. So there's some things you could say other than, hey, how's your night going? You could go over to the bartender or the guy who's sat at the bar next to you and you could just say, hey man, is this place always this packed or this empty? Do they always play music like this? You could say something like, damn, the bartender is moving fast tonight, respect. Or you could say something like, all right, I need a ruling. What's the best drink on the menu here? Anything that comes to your mind. For these small little interactions, you're not picking to go next to somebody that's like the most attractive person in the room and walking straight up to her. You're just talking to whoever happens to be in your path, in the direction that you're going, and whoever happens to be in the area that you land when you find your spot for a little bit of the time in the room. This is not supposed to be anything complicated. You're simply just getting your muscles warmed up to have social interactions and get into a bit of a flow. And here's what happens miraculously. You're going to find yourself feeling a little bit nervous the first time or the first few times that you do something like this. But what you'll notice is as you start to have these small interactions, a feeling of relaxation is going to wash over you as you start to get into the rhythm a little bit of just having these small, simple interactions and exercising that muscle. As soon as you start talking, even just a little bit, and you break that silence of being in your head and overthinking, you'll notice that you will find a bit more ease with each small interaction that you have as you enter the space. And now what you're doing here is, instead of feeling like an outsider who's coming into the space, you're making yourself a part of the environment. You're adding to the atmosphere. Step 3, move through the room like you belong there already. Okay, so now you're in the flow, having these small interactions, but how do you start to have actual conversations with people without it feeling forced? Here's the big secret. People will respond to your energy and mirror you with whatever you are bringing to the table. If you're stiff, hesitant, checking your phone all the time, giving off an energy that just says that you're waiting for someone to come and invite you in, then that is exactly how people will treat you. But if you move through the space naturally like you already belong there, people are going to intuitively respond to you on that level. And a big part of this is really just owning your space. Keep your body open, don't cross your arms or hunch your posture over. Instead, be relaxed yet open with an upright posture. Allow yourself to be comfortable and present in your body language. Next, make casual eye contact. Not in a creepy staring contest kind of way, showing someone down across the bar. What I'm talking about is more like an occasional glance, a nod, a smile if they look back. Maybe even a little wave. Look like you are enjoying yourself. Don't get lost in your phone, scrolling and looking like you don't really feel like you should be there. Instead, absorb what's happening in the room around you. If there's live music, really get into it, watch it, connect with it, and find the enjoyment in being in that space. If you're talking to the bartender, try and have a good laugh and really connect with him or her and start to understand what their night's been like, what the music is like. Just really show the people who are around you that you're already having a good time. And when you're ready to start having conversation, just simply say something natural. Maybe there's a bunch of people who are laughing nearby at the bar and you say, okay guys, you are having way too much fun over there. What's the story? Or you can turn to somebody who's sat there on their own and say, okay, I have a question. Settle a debate for me. And then insert whatever might be running through your mind. Or you can chat to someone who's just showed up at the bar or who's standing close to you and you can say, hey, you look like somebody who knows this place pretty well. What do you recommend is the best thing on the menu? Notice how none of these are pickup lines or anything crazy. In fact, these are things that you can say to both men or women to start conversation. The goal of this process is not necessarily to be approaching women. It's about working the entire room and every person that's in it. The ones that you have intentions of building relationships with and the ones that you just want to interact with casually and move on with your night. You don't have to worry so much about picking the right people to ask these questions to. It's just a means of building your rapport with the room as a whole. So again, there's no pickup lines and there's nothing crazy or cheesy. They're just real, natural openings. And that is all that you need. In fact, you don't even need to listen to these openings. If you've got things that just come to your mind and you want to start conversation from there, then don't even worry about these prompts that I'm giving you. Just feel free to flow with what's happening in your environment, comment on it, make little moments with people that you can see them laughing or chatting about something that sounds interesting, and just flow. Allow yourself to be creative and connect with your authentic expression of how you want to connect with people in this space. Step 4. Now this is where you really start to stand out. Step 4 is all about becoming a connector in the room. This is where you really start to stand out and you become the guy who brings people together. You see, most of the time at a social event, people are generally just sticking to the people that they know. Everyone's going out because they want to connect with new people, to expand their social circle and spend time with people that they love already. So you're really just going to be acting as a hub that's helping them to achieve their goal. And that's something that makes people like you a lot when you're a connector and you can help them to do that. If you can become the guy who's connecting different groups together, you become instantly magnetic and a valuable person in that room who's removing some of the obstacle that these people are experiencing to connect with people that they don't know. Introduce people. Say something like, hey, you two have to meet. You both have the same interest. Maybe you're chatting to someone at the bar and you decide to bring them into the group that you've been sitting with. And you say, hey man, you should come and join us. These people are really cool. We were just talking about whatever relevant topic you just chatted with that guy about. And bring them over to the table with you. Make it easy for others to talk. If you're having an engaging conversation and you notice there are other people around who are eavesdropping and listening or standing nearby, invite them into the conversation. Pull them in with a quick comment saying, hey, what do you think? Or making eye contact with them when you are making a point in that conversation to invite them in with your body language. And what happens when you start to do all of this? Well, people start to gravitate towards you. Because suddenly you're not just some guy who came into the room, you're now the guy that's making the room more fun for everyone. And finally, step 5, keep the momentum going. So you've made some connections, started some conversations, and you've built momentum. But here's where a lot of guys will mess up. They stay in one spot way too long. If you spend all night talking to the same group, it's pretty easy to get stuck. And pretty soon you're stuck in one circle rather than working the entire room. So instead, keep moving, wrap up conversations smoothly. Say something like, all right guys, I gotta make the rounds, but I'm gonna see you later on, okay? Don't overstay in one group. Give them the space and leave them wanting more. That way, when they see you again later, they're excited to talk to you. You're gonna be kind of a novelty that pops in and out of their night and brings a little spice of fun and excitement and changes the dynamic a little bit. So if you keep coming and going, you're gonna create this energy of, this guy's fun, this guy is moving, he's got a lot of things that's going on, and When he comes back, it's like an adventure. And finally, circle back to people later on. If you started a conversation earlier on, come back and revisit it. This is going to make you feel even more ingrained in the space. By doing this, you're creating a natural flow where you're constantly making and nurturing new connections. You're keeping conversations fresh and becoming the guy that everybody remembers. If you do these things, I guarantee you that you will see a huge shift in not only the way that you feel about yourself and the confidence boost that you're going to get for overcoming any fear that you might have around this topic, but also you're going to notice a huge shift in the way that people respond to you. Look, if I told you that 13 years ago, I was the most awkward, socially anxious person that you would have ever met, you probably wouldn't believe me now. And most of the people that knew me back then, when they see me now, they don't believe it either. And if I can change, if I can step out of that anxious loop and become somebody who knows how to work the room, and it's second nature at this point, then you have every capability of doing that as well. Because everything that you want to connect with people over is already inside you. It's just a case of getting out of your own way with the overthinking and the worrying about what people are going to say or do when they're looking at you when you walk into the room, and just realizing that the thing that you're afraid of probably isn't going to happen. And even if it did happen, it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. And that's something I can promise you from many years of experience of overcoming this very fear myself. At the end of the day, working the room is not about being the funniest, the best dressed, or the most extroverted person. It's about understanding social energy and creating the vibe that you want to in the space. If you found this video interesting and you want to give some of these tips a go or try the entire process for yourself, then do be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment below. What's your go-to move when you're trying to work the room? Have you tried working the room recently? And if so, what was that like for you? And now that you've started to master working the room a little bit, you might find that you still have some hesitation when it comes particularly to talking to the women that you are the most attracted to. You might still find that you're hesitating a little bit there. But luckily, I have a video that's just for you on this topic. So go ahead and check out the video that's on screen now. This video is going to walk you through exactly what to say and do when you approach a woman that you like, so you can not only feel smooth and effortless in conversation, but you can also ask her out in a way that seems seamless, natural, and confident. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.